Ready.
All right. Hey, hard hitters. It is October 1st, which is completely crazy to me. I can't believe we're in the last 3 full months of the year. But I'm super excited tonight because I was able to kind of team up with Kimberly to bring you guys an awesome team call, just to kind of help you guys just go for it. That's one thing I've loved ever since Kimberly became a coach. I instantly recognized her as being kind of a rock star because, for one, her very, very first month as a coach, she had 56 Success Club points. Like, that's insane. 56 Success Club points in 1 month. And it definitely caught my attention. And I was like, hey, who is this girl? And then she started signing coaches and signing coaches and signing coaches. And I was like, wow, I think I even messaged you your first month, Kimberly. And I was like, hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're amazing and you're a rock star. And, and I sometimes coaches kind of jump in and they get going like crazy and then they fall off. So I was kind of just like watching Kimberly and just like hoping, like, I hope this one sticks it out. I hope she really goes for it. And she has. I mean, ever since day one, I mean, this girl has been a rock star. And so I've been wanting to pick her brain and just kind of see, like, what is she doing? Like, what is she doing that's different, that has moved her business forward so quickly? And she's also recreated her success for her coaches as well. So I just really wanted her to jump on the call and just talk to you guys about like going for it from day one. So first of all, I'm just going to like pass it off to her and let her share her story and kind of talk to you guys a little bit about how she became coach. So go for it.
Okay, hi, welcome. So nice to be on here. Thanks so much for that awesome introduction. Just for the record, I haven't hit 56 success points since, but at least I have a record that I'm looking to get to someday, hopefully sooner than later. But so sort of a little bit about me. I've always been in fitness. So people have, I feel like I kind of had a little bit of a head start because I was always kind of the encouragement for people via online. And so it always made sense for people. Can you hear me okay? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. No, sorry. So it always made sense, like the fitness part of life and like encouraging others. And it wasn't really until my second baby, I gained about 45 pounds with both kids, and I had them a little less than 16 months apart. So I was kind of at the, what am I going to do? And my boy was like real weight versus like water weight. Oops. And so the weight just wasn't coming off. It didn't matter what I did. I was at the gym all the time, and I didn't really have the time or the energy to keep going. And so I kind of started back in on, I've always been a Beachbody product person. I actually had no idea about coaching. I think when I bought my first product, I never got a coach. So, or if I did, they never did anything. It was kind of a no-brainer just to jump in. And my girlfriend, Andy Worsham, who you guys know, or most of you, she had started doing Beachbody coaching maybe like a year back. And so I was kind of watching her and listening and learning, but from the guide, or from the back view. And then finally I decided, like, well, let's just learn a little more. And I started following a couple different online or Beachbody coaches that were really high up in the company. And I just was kind of impressed by, like, well, you just encourage people to work out and like take care of themselves and you can actually make a living. This is crazy. And so when I, presented it to my husband, because that's what good wives do, he was kind of like, yeah, like, sure, go for it. You want to, and I was like, well, more or less, like, I just really want to lose these stinking pounds that won't. And I had about 20, 25 pounds to like get me back. And so I was already running free online challenges. I'd done that for years. I had no idea that was like Beachbody's MO. And so lo and behold, I just realized, like, I was right in the middle of one when I decided to be a coach. And so it was really easy to hit the ground running because I was just offering like free encouragement, free like fitness tips. I would post, a workout of the day and then some encouragement in the day and then like a check-in post and even like daily challenges. And so when I kind of, when I joined as a coach, I presented the business, I think, to like, and I think I had like 100 people in this free online group, and everyone was like, yeah, I'm in. Like, what do I need to do? And I was like, whoa, really? Like this? Okay, I have no idea what you need to do. I don't even know what I'm doing. And so our first group was 21 Day Fix, and I think there was like 35, 36 of us. And by week one, and granted, like I was just super stoked. So I like went into it with just a gusto and had huge results. I think I lost like 15 pounds in 21 Day Fix. Who knew? And drinking Shakeology, and I really think that was the kicker. And it was just like portion control and Shakeology were like my, those worked together and finally helped the weight come off. And when the group started going, like a week in, they were like, Kim, what do we do when it's over? It's only 3 weeks. What do we do? And I was like, well, I guess you just keep buying. I don't know, let's do it again. And pretty much all of them signed up as a coach, which, I mean, more power to them. And most of them started as discount coaches. And so right out of the gate, I think like 8 people signed up as coaches, and they just kept tagging me on their personal page saying how great this program was. And the next thing I know, my network grew really, really fast. And so I felt like I kind of just kept the momentum going, and it worked out. And so I really learned. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I had a quick question. So you kind of like dove in, right? You had your free groups, and then you like promoted this 21-day group. And you had all these people like saying like, let's do it. And like, one, you had never done 21 Day Fix before. Mm-hmm. And two, you'd run challenge groups, but like you'd never sold Beachbody before, but like that you didn't let that hold you back. Like you just went for it and you figured it out, and you figured out 21 Day Fix with all 36 other girls at the exact same time. Because I know some people are so worried, oh, I've never done that program before. Like I need to do it first. Like not necessarily. Like you go in the trenches with the people and do it with them.
I almost think that your group will benefit more if you've never done it either. Now, granted, you kind of have to know you have to know something, because otherwise they're not going to believe in you. And I actually just had coaches over the other night, and someone was like, well, how do I sell? Like, how come people aren't like buying? And I asked all the girls in the room, I'm like, well, why'd you buy from me? Like what was the, I don't know, you guys tell me why you bought. And it was because they trusted me. And I feel like that is something, because you have to believe in yourself, right? So if you don't believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it, it's really easy to feel salesy because you want it so bad. But I feel like if you're right along with them in the trenches, like, man, that total body cardio was so stinking hard, and you like legitimately feel that because you did it for the first time, and for the first week of a program, you're sore because you haven't done it 75 times before, that pays off. People believe in that. It's hard to fake. And I feel like that's sort of kind of what, that actually works in your favor. Mm-hmm. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how you said, you just like, you have to believe in yourself and go for it, because I think a lot of new coaches kind of like hold back, and almost that nervousness paralyzes them. Like they're so afraid to make a mistake and so afraid to do the wrong thing. Whereas you just have to like jump in and just figure it out as you're doing it. Like, yeah, you're going to make mistakes, and you'll look back at that first group and think like, man, there's a lot of things I might have done differently. But the fact is that you do it, and you just keep figuring it out and trying new things.
Right. And I feel like that's it. To me, it's like, you almost have to, as people, like, because you get more of these challengers in there, and you get people who have like knee problems or this problem or digestive issues or whatever the case, but you like learn as you go. And the more you push people to just believe in themselves, I feel like that's really what it is. It's not like we're selling something. I have so many friends that are in, network marketing companies. And I think that's what I was so worried for so long about even joining anything, because I was nervous that I was going to be one of those people. And I actually right out of the gate asked my girlfriend, I said, look, you're on Facebook every day. Can you tell me, like, if you feel like my posts aren't real or aren't me or aren't genuine or are too salesy or something, tell me. Like, I want to know, like, that day. Like, I don't want to be that person, because that's not me. I just want to like make people's lives better. And I feel like we're given these products that make people's lives better. So you believe in what I've yet to feel like a salesperson. And I I think that you just stick with that, and you have to keep reminding yourself that you're not selling anything, so to speak. I mean, you can sell as much as you want, but if the person doesn't do it, it's not going to work. So like, you're not really selling them, you're selling them a better life. Like, and if you keep reminding yourself of that, I feel like sky's the limit.
One more quick question, and then I'll let you kind of go on about how you start your coaches. But how you had said on your Facebook, you told your girlfriend, like, tell me if I'm being salesy. So, and sorry, we hadn't talked about this, but I just thought it was a good point. So what do you post on Facebook, and what is your focus on your Facebook to make sure that you're giving people a benefit, but not acting salesy?
Sure. I feel like well, first off, I feel like Shakeology, so a little bit about me. I probably had, like, this may be TMI, but like probably like 12 to 15 years of digestive issues. And I was probably on my way. I was supposed to get in a colonoscopy like for years now. I've already had a couple, but I was like due for one. And see, TMI. But I started drinking Shakeology June 5th or June 1st. And like my issues are gone. Like gone. And so for me, like, I don't even feel like I have to anything. Like, it's proof is in the butter. You know what I mean? Like, it's completely drastically changed my life. I'm like pain free. I feel like I'm not bloated anymore. Like, all the things I was dealing with are like gone. And so I feel like for Facebook, I focus in a lot of things. I try to stay true to myself. I have 2 little kids, so I feel like I post a lot about them. And then I post like a lot about family and friends, and more or less, I think I just encourage people to pursue themselves. When I was trying to, when I first got started, it was kind of like, I mean, I think in my first 2 weeks, I was like, oh, I got to get a website. Oh, I got to start my fitness page. And I was like brainstorming with my creative team, because I have a creative team where I work, and I was like, what's a great name for like a company? And like through like a bunch of people where they're, Your Best You came up. And I feel like that is what every post I post, I think of that comment, like, your best you, your best you, your best you. So like, I just want to encourage, I don't even care if you're drinking Isagenix or Medifast or whatever you're doing. I just encourage you to be healthy, and not so much for yourself, but for your family and your friends and your life, and like, I mean, forever. And so really focusing in on like living a lifestyle that is going to take you further in life than the disease of what could it come.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my...
Okay, can you touch a little bit on, so your coaches have kind of just like picked up right where you started. So give us some tips on what you do, what you tell your coaches when they first get started.
Sure. So I started a Facebook group page for Your Best You, which is any coach underneath me. And I realized I don't actually tell my current coaches to do that anytime soon. I think the smaller and intimate more you keep it, the better. So as it gets larger, maybe we'll rethink that. But but the way I start them is I send them an email, and in that email, I just kind of get to know like what they're looking for. I ask right out of the gate, like, can I introduce you to groups? And I feel like that's a really big start, because I think right out of the gate, I was like, here you are in Faithfully Fit, Your Best You, Hard Hitters, and TKO. And it was like, whoa, overwhelmed. They were just like, what is this land of, because if you don't know, I mean, it is kind of strange. Like, who are all these people, and what are they talking about? And why am I now friends with all of them? And so I started just being like, do you want lots of information or little information? And I would keep them in just like groups that I felt like they would thrive in, and told them how to succeed. Like, turn your notifications off if you don't want to get overwhelmed, because I feel like that's overwhelming. Check in if you have a question. Don't be afraid to post it, but don't feel like you have to. And so I cover that in the first email, as well as I actually send them to do that 14-day Mindy Wender training. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is a awesome tool, and it's free, and it's just like, here's the business in itself. They're 5 to 7 minute videos. She covers the basics in a very simple way. And so I get them to do that. If there's a boot camp, then, I have led a couple of my own, but if not, I'll throw them into Hard Hitters. But again, that can be overwhelming. too. So I think the first, my advice to any coach right out of the gate, especially if they're new to like, they all of a sudden they just, I think a lot of them are like, well, I don't even talk about fitness. Like, who am I to like say anything? Well, number one, your stories and your journey. Like, that's huge. Like, don't be afraid of your story. Okay, so we're not all where we want to be. Like, I got a ways to go. We're all a work in progress. And so like, you're going to meet people, you'll probably meet more people being in the not in great shape than you would if you know, I think it's almost harder because it's like, that's tangible. What she's doing, I can do that. Like, she's lost 3 pounds this week, I can lose 3 pounds this week. And so I think like, don't be afraid to be not perfect. That is probably how you'll succeed, number one. And so I think that like, you have to, if you've never done anything fitness on Facebook, you do feel kind of fake because it's like, well, here I am and now I'm this. Be real. Tell your story on Facebook and tell it maybe a couple times so you get different audiences at different times. One of the first things I did was write an email to probably, I think the list was like 150 people. And I didn't say, I wasn't trying to sell them anything, although I did mention in the end if they wanted any products, obviously I was the person to go to. But I just was like, hey, this is who I am. This is why. And I feel like right out of the gate, it took away that feeling of caring about what other people thought because I had the support of like the people I cared most about. And for whatever reason, I had to check that off the box. And so I recommend that. And then I recommend free challenges. So like a clean eating, a water challenge. I love to do like the 30-day like abs, you know, guns, thighs, and butt, or, you know, something like that. Those are just fun. And you can be, because there's no, you know, there's nobody's paying anything. It's up to them to like put in the effort. And usually through that, they're going to want to keep going. That was kind of my experience in the past, was like, oh gosh, it's ending. What's now? And so get out of the gate and just do a free one. People sign up and they won't do anything, but that's okay. At least they're in your group and they're hearing about stuff. And so I think that's, you know, that's kind of how I've set up our team for success. I guess that'd be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, after you run the free group, how do you talk your coaches into moving them into a real challenge group?
Well, I definitely think most of my coaches come from a previous challenge group, so they get the products. So I feel like that's kind of that's an easy win, right? You know, they're ready to go. And I think that like, okay, for example, my girl, she just started like a week and a half ago. She started a 5-day clean eating and like 70 people joined up. And so then, you know, right near the end there, she's introducing, hey, this is my next challenge group. And it's 21-day fix, or it's, you know, PiYo, or whatever she feels comfortable leading. And then if she feels uncomfortable, I kind of feel like there's a couple, I'll ask if they want to like partner up and do it together. Cause I feel like that takes off the edge a lot in knowing that like you're doing it with somebody. But yeah.
I like that. I was going to say too, with the clean eating, I know I have had some coaches that try to do like a free group, like a free clean eating group or a free, you know, group, but they may only post it on Facebook one time. And maybe they posted it at like 1:00 in the afternoon or 2:00 in the afternoon, and they got crickets. And then instantly they just sucked back into themselves. They got nervous. They felt like they were bugging people, that no one wanted to do it with them, and they never posted again. So I always tell people, like, if you are going to try to, you know, push to do a free group first, or even your challenge group, make sure you're posting multiple times throughout the week and at multiple times a day so that more people are seeing it. Because if you only post it once, I mean, Facebook's dumb. And like, you know, you may just get lost in the news feed just because you posted at a weird time or whatever. So I, you know, make sure you're posting multiple times a day and fake it till you make it. Like, no one knows how full your groups are. No one knows how amazing you're doing. I mean, like I've told this story before, like there's I've had crickets, and I'll just say, you know, oh my gosh, my group is so full, I'm running another one in 2 weeks. The truth is there was no one in my group, or I didn't have enough people. I just bumped it back 2 weeks so that I could fill it. So, you know, faking it till you make it and just really putting yourself out there. kind of like you did. I just don't feel like you ever held back. You just put yourself out there. You owned the fact that you were a Beachbody coach. You were never ashamed of it. You never second guessed yourself. You never worried about what you looked like, if you had the perfect body, if you were saying the right things. You were just focusing on getting yourself out to everybody, and helping people. And I like that just comes across to people, and they want to be a part of what you're doing.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I feel like that's you. You can't. The thing is, you're not going to get. It's not going to be immediate, no matter what. Like, I mean, sure, mine was immediate, but I feel like I was given like. I mean, I just was in it. It was like right time, right place. But I feel like if you've got to learn when to post, and you've got to be consistent. I think since I signed up, I think May 27th was my first day as a coach, and I have not missed one. I've posted 3 times every day in any group I'm in or my personal page. And then I started a fitness page, which I feel like don't do that if you're not ready, because it's a whole new world in that land. I can get into that, but it's just not, you're fighting a lot harder in that, nobody sees your post. You're like, wow, that was a really good post. And you're like, 15 people saw this. I'm like, what the?
Wow.
I know. So I just feel like you got to be consistent in posting. That's like the most important. And then learning, like, post different things at different times and pay attention, and like even maybe make a note like, wow, I got 40 likes at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. Who would have thought? Make sense of it. Like, and then write that down.
Mm-hmm. One more thing. So I know a lot of people have been talking, and again, we didn't talk about this before the call, but a lot of people have been talking about the cost objection. So one of the biggest objections they get is cost, that is too expensive. And I've heard some coaches go about this in a couple different ways, and I would love to hear your take on it. So as far as the cost objective, some coaches are just going to let a customer in their challenge group, whether they buy a challenge pack or not. So the thought is, get them in and get them seeing other people doing the workouts, get to see other people do Shakeology, and maybe at that point they'll purchase something. If you presented them with maybe the 21-day fix and they just said, hey, I'm sorry, right now I can't afford it, just let them in and let them do whatever it is that they're doing and just working out consistently. And now that has worked for other people, and that's a great idea. And for me, I always try to get people to purchase a challenge pack, because kind of like you said, Kimberly, like Shakeology is amazing, and people that do Shakeology with a workout are going to get results. It's just going to happen because it's just a killer combination. And I know for me, people that buy both get much better results than people that only buy one or the other. For one, they're financially invested in this. Like, they actually put some money out there, and they're going to try it and see what happens, see what results they get. If they have a $80 bag of Shakeology or whatever they think it costs with that challenge pack sitting in the cabinet, they're going to drink it every day because they want to see if they're going to get results from it. And plus they want to use it because they paid for it. So I just always feel like those people are a little bit more invested. But if they say they can't afford a challenge pack, I will let them in with just purchasing the workout program. So if someone comes back to me and says, hey, I can't afford a challenge pack, I always go and, hey, if you can't afford just the challenge pack with Shakeology, you can get just the workout for X amount of dollars. And a lot of times they'll go that route because it is a lot cheaper without Shakeology. The cool thing is at the end of a challenge group, within 30 days, if they see everybody else drinking Shakeology and liking it, they can always upgrade their workout to a challenge. They'll get that discount on Shakeology. So I always try to offer that too. But as far as like the cost objection, like in general, like in the very beginning, you're offering this challenge pack and people are saying, no, it's too expensive. There's a couple things I recommend doing. The first thing is make sure that you are connecting with them in the beginning. So make sure you're taking the time to find out why they want to get in the group, what their fitness goals are, and make sure you're connecting those goals to the fitness program you're talking to them about. Talk about if they have cravings, why Shakeology would be amazing for them, or like Kimberly, you have stomach issues, why would Shakeology really help them out? Make sure you're connecting the dots from their goals to what a challenge pack will offer them, and make sure you're sharing everything that challenge pack gets. I mean, you get Shakeology, you get the 30 days of free on demand, you get the meal plan, you get the recipe books, like you get so much with that challenge pack versus just getting the workout. So make sure you're explaining to them everything that they're getting. Plus they're getting you as a coach for life to help them on their fitness journey. And they get that workout to keep forever. And compared to a gym membership, the cost of a workout is so much cheaper than an ongoing gym membership. So, make sure you're talking about that too. And think about those things when you're sharing your posts on Facebook. Think about the objections that you normally get and use those to kind of fuel your posts. So like, hey, like, I bought this workout and I've been using it for the last year now, and it only cost me, $10 a month. How much is, versus a gym membership, or like, how much is your gym membership or something like, just get those thoughts going in people's minds, even if you're not talking to them in a private message. Kimberly, what about, do you have any advice or things that you have done to kind of help overcome that cost objection?
Yeah. I feel like you covered a lot, but like, I always, if you really want something, it's tangible. Like, if you go to Jamba Juice every day, just as an example, or you go to a juicing bar and where it's even more expensive, you're paying $9, easy, maybe $6 at Jamba, but like, do the math and it's already right at the gate cheaper. And so I feel like people, if you kind of show them, and I feel like we actually just had this conversation amongst our coaches, people watch you. Like, it is creepy when they come out of the woodwork and they message you and they're like, I've been watching you for 3 months now, and it seems like what you're doing is real. And you're like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you. But I feel like that's a lot of times those people who have cost objectives need the extra time, and that's okay. Like, that's why, like, just stay consistent to your brand, stay consistent to what you're doing, and eventually those people do come around. And I think the other, I always say, like, well, why don't you share it? Like, that's another option. Like, me and this girlfriend, we want to do it, and I'm like, well, why don't you guys just share it together? At least you each get the 30, or when you sign up together, or one person signs up, obviously, and the other person would pay them back. But like, maybe you only do a half a scoop of Shakeology per person so that you get covered throughout the whole month. And then, one person gets the on-demand and one person gets the DVDs. But at least then everybody they get like a glimpse into what you're doing. And I feel like all you really have to do is give them a glimpse, and it's kind of hard not to like be like, oh yeah, I want that. And so I think that is huge. Something I just started doing was like a challenge update, because I feel like, as coaches, we use that word a lot, like challengers and challenge packs, and people don't, it's like, I'm sure my company has lots of words that you guys don't know. And so it almost like feels exclusive, which can sometimes work in your favor, but it can also sometimes be very intimidating. And so I feel like breaking down what a challenge pack and a challenger are in like layman's terms in fun ways, like, one of my challengers who's in this group that we all work out together, here's their post of like the benefits of being in this group or why they love being in this group. And I literally will post and black out their name. And, I feel like that speaks to people, and they're like, wow, those are some of the problems I have. Like, that's real. Oh, I want that. And so I feel like that really showcasing the benefit of an online challenge group, because I don't know that any of us knew how much that can carry your program, until you're in it and you do it.
Honestly, I would not have signed up to be a Beachbody coach if I hadn't done a challenge group, because it's that big of a difference. It makes such a huge difference. Yeah. Another thing I do too, if someone like seriously cannot afford it, they don't want to sign up for the free, that's another thing. Like, worst comes to worst, say, hey, sign up for the free 30-day Beachbody on-demand membership and be in my group. Like, it's free. Let's do it. Like, just be in my group. If like worst comes to worst, they're just like, no, I'm not doing it. I have a free accountability group where I really don't do anything. I just say, hey, here's an accountability group. You can post your workouts every day. You can share healthy meals, whatever the case is. Like, here's just a group you can check in with. And I know some coaches like really kind of format their free groups, but I try to kind of just leave it open, because I want my challengers to be getting something more than my free group. So I just kind of leave mine kind of floating, let people post when they post. I kind of post in there every now and then. But the great thing about that accountability group is I feel like it's a free place for me to kind of advertise my upcoming challenge groups. So I don't feel bad posting in there like, hey, I'm doing a 21-day group. Hey, I'm doing a clean eating group. Like, it's almost like free advertising. Like, get them in that group, post every now and then. And it's cool because the people in there talk like, hey, what workout are you doing? Oh, you're doing T25. I've thought about doing that one. How do you like it? So that's a great way too. Like if people are like, no, the cost won't work. No, I don't want to sign up for the free on demand and do workouts for free. Which anyway, I'm going to throw them in my accountability group. So that's another idea too.
Yeah. I actually, right out of the gate, I did that with all the basically anybody who ever buys from me, I put them into a challenge group, and I try to keep, I create a theme for the month. And so like this past month we did be present. And so every day, and it's just one more buffer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. So every day I just post in the morning a way to be present, and we're kind of doing like a photo challenge, and it's just keeping my people who have purchased from me in the past engaged. And for the ones that have completely fallen off, it's almost like they have like, oh, I know where that group is. Like I can go there and they'll have answers for me. And like we showed each other our before and after photos. Like we're a little bit more intimate than the average Joe. And so I feel like that is a crucial group. And it's just like a place that's usually where I'll like admit my faults in the day. Like I ate my kids' Annie's fruit snacks today because I don't know why, but like I'll post that in there just to be real. Whereas I probably wouldn't post that in my 21 day fix because I'm, trying to be, hardcore.
Because I totally ate my son's Annie's fruit snacks today. And I was the exact same thing. I'm like, why don't even why did I just eat those?
No, it was very strange. I actually was like, I didn't even know these were in my house, and now they're gone. Okay, moving on. It's a new day tomorrow. But yeah, definitely start and I even tell my coaches if they don't feel comfortable creating their own ongoing accountability group, throw them in ours. Like throw them in the one that we're all in. More the merrier. You know what I mean? At least it's a place where then you're not losing, because it's almost like losing legwork on those people that, you once upon a time did a challenge group with. So yeah.
I agree.
That works well.
That is also in that accountability group. That is where I throw a lot of my old, like my challenge groups. I take the challenge and then I put them right into that group. Like you said, you just can kind of have something that continues to go. I know for me, that group's kind of died a little bit, and I need to do more to keep it going. But like you said, it's a great place to just keep them active. One more quick thing I just thought about that we didn't touch on was when you are a new coach, like, and you are still a new coach, you haven't even been in the business, it's 4 months now. Just crazy. You said you started creating your own videos, your own training videos.
Yeah. So I felt like I really wanted to do a sneak peek, and it just felt so strange, like throwing, like, I don't know, I was trying to think of it from a place, and I feel like I can bury myself in this post or in this, but I feel like here I am, like, come learn about what we do, and then here's a bunch of faces you don't know. That can be intimidating. Like right out of the gate, that could like push some people who I think are ready they'll just eat it up. But I feel like don't be afraid of what it is that we signed up to do. You know what I mean? And even if your videos aren't even that great, and even if you don't even want to do a video, so like when I would watch like your 3-day sneak peek, or, a go-getter sneak peek, or whoever's sneak peek, I feel like I just kind of took the content and like what was trying to be covered, and then I just like made my own videos. And I feel like it's more authentic coming from me because it's me, and like they're obviously curious what you're doing, so they want to know. But the cool thing is I have like hit and miss with these sneak peeks. I feel like I post sometimes and it's like, okay, so no one's going to be in this, it happens a lot. I would say this is the one area where I'm like, and nobody. So we'll just push it to next month. But I had one month, I don't even remember which one, and it was like crazy. There was probably like 30 people in it. Obviously they didn't all turn into coaches, but there was all these people who asked like awesome questions. So I just keep that group. And if then there's anybody who ever feels like, hey, can I just like, what is this coaching stuff? I'm like, well, here's this group. It's not active, but you're welcome to go in, look through everybody's questions, watch the videos, and then let me know if you have any questions, or post in there, and it's open so I see it. So it's not a big deal, but I just feel like it's a place where like all the good information is. And so I just use that a lot. And I took, there's Bonnie Engel. I don't know if you follow her, but she's awesome. And she's a lot of the reason. I actually talked to her a lot before I actually started coaching, but she has a website that breaks down Beachbody coaching in a really cool way. And so I just use some of her stuff, and it's really helpful for me. And it was a lot of the reason why I kind of signed up. So I feel like I just kind of take stuff from bits and pieces and like use all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love that you've mentioned like you've gone out and like searched other coaches, which is amazing because you can relate. Like I relate to a certain awesome rock star coaches, right? But you may not relate to them, and they may not like jive with you, or so you got to go out there and kind of search those top coaches that you can relate to, and then you can recreate what they're doing because you obviously like what they're doing. You can relate to what they're doing, and then you can make it your own. And, not being afraid to be a leader on your team, whether you have one or two coaches underneath you or no coaches underneath you, like, don't be afraid to be a leader and make your own videos, trust yourself, like, just go for it and do your own research. One thing I love about what Kimberly's done is that she did her own research. She found things out. She searched on other websites. Like she didn't wait for her coach Andy to say, hey, why don't you make your own videos? Like she just kind of took this business and made it her own from day one. And that's what I loved about it. And that's really going to set you apart. Like, and you're going to have ownership over your business. You're not going to be relying on your upline. You're going to have ownership. You're going to, you're going to have pride in what you're doing because it's yours and you're creating it for you. And I just think that's so important. So is there anything else you wanted to add before we hung up, or?
I think that the only thing that I would say is don't be afraid. I mean, what do you really have to lose? Like, okay, so you get in the worst shape of your life. Like, what really at the end of the day, what do you have to lose? Like, it's not like you're putting your character on the line or you're pressuring all your friends. And if you are, then, maybe rethink that. But like, just be real and be excited about what you have to offer. And I feel like people are just looking for a place to belong. Like if you really search Facebook, all you see is a bunch of hurting people looking for a place to belong. And Beachbody gives that to people in ways that they don't even know that they need it. And so I feel like just, look through your Facebook. Like I remember the first time I reached out to someone who I thought should coach, and it was like, she was like, does anyone know of any part-time work? I'll do a call center. I'll do like online, where you answer surveys or whatever, or try products. I can't even remember what it was. And I messaged her, and we barely know each other, but I was like, look, I see that you're hurting for cash, and I'm not in any way saying that this is for you. But if you're like seeking here's like a valuable way of life. I see that you're also looking to like be, healthy. Well, here you go. And so just like really actually listening and learning from the people that are on your feed is probably one of the most honest ways you can go about this business. But I also feel like it's a lifelong thing that's caused, like, I feel like I do a lot of things better now that I've become a coach because I feel like I'm listening more, and I feel like I'm more interested in hearing people and the backstory of kind of how they got to be where they are and what they want to fix, and like really learning how to do that. And so I would just say, like, don't be afraid. Put yourself out there. You got a size video, dance on the internet. All people are going to do is laugh, and that's okay because we're funny and we're really funny. I can't tell you how many people stop and they're like, you're dancing on the internet. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I'm a fool, and I'm glad that I brought you entertainment in your household. But like, who cares? Nobody thinks about you that much. That's all I have to say. Nobody's thinking about you that much. They're all just wanting a little piece of what you're doing. So that's all.
That's awesome. And one more
Have fun.
thing that you had said too, like it feels like you're selling to your friends. I always say just take a step back and go back to that personal development. Just take a step back, focus on your workouts, focus on making you better, and just keep posting consistently, and it's just going to come out in your posts, and people are going to want to join you. So just take a step back and make yourself better, because that's just going to make everybody around you better. So, Kimberly, thanks for doing this with me. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm glad you guys got to jump in, and I hope you guys got something out of this. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the Hard Hitters page, and either Kimberly or I will answer them and get back to you. So thanks, guys.